What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Good morning. It is like 8:30 in the morning. I was up till about 4 o'clock yesterday in the morning editing, and then I woke up at 7 this morning to finish the edit because today it's NASCAR. It's a race day, baby. That's why I got the American Eagle bald eagle hat on. Big day, NASCAR day. I've never been to a NASCAR event, so got the invite to go. Austin was like, hey, do you want to go to a NASCAR event? I was like, hell yeah, I want to go to a NASCAR event, so here we are. So now I've been rushing to get this video going, and hopefully I'll be able to finish it up and get it up in time. But yes, this is it. The moment has come. Here's the GTR in front of me. You guys are about to see this thing get painted, and it looks absolutely incredible. You guys seem to kind of enjoy the voiceover in the last video, so there is a little bit more included in this video. Also, my eye's been watering. I think I have something in my eye. But I got a lot of content in this one, so hopefully you guys enjoy, and stay tuned for the end of this video because you do not want to miss the results of this engine bay. Also had one very major problem that kind of sucks and led to a major problem, but you guys will see that. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up the intro. Hope you guys liked the video. Toss a like, drop a comment, say what's up. Really appreciate the engagement and the communication. So see you guys at the end of the video. Yes, sir, this is it. Finally, I left you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger last video, but today we're finally going ahead and tossing some paint on this bay. So you guys can see, this is it. This is the moment. We're right in it all. This is it. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning, a little bit later. I'm finally starting to get this thing cleaned up. Now, there's always a last minute prep thing that I find myself doing, so that's what you guys saw me do just down there on the frame rail. Here we go. Now, I like to start with the corners of the bay. Now, it may seem kind of strange, but you know, maybe not. It kind of makes sense, right? Because you just kind of want to get yourself situated in the hardest to reach places first, you know, because then once you got everything else dialed in, you go back, you tend to maybe chance your chance of runs a little bit more. So as you can see, work on the back corners and the firewall first. I like to work my way back with the bays. This primer lays out pretty awesome. It's actually a polyester primer. I'll have a link down in the description below if you guys would like to go ahead and grab some yourself. It's a 4-to-1 primer. You do need a gun to spray it. Now the gun I'm using, my primer gun, guys, is a very cheap setup. This is a Harbor Freight professional, quote unquote professional grade gun. It's about $75, really reasonable. And I'm able to yield some pretty decent results. So you can see a little before and after. It's just so good to see it all in one color, I can't lie. That is probably the most satisfying part, besides the whole clear coat action happening, just seeing it all go back into one color after seeing it months and months in, you know, 50 shades of whatever color. So again, getting behind that steering shaft is a little bit tricky, so just do the best you can. Obviously that area is very, very hard to see. You're never gonna go ahead and see that when the engine's in, but do your best. You guys can see laying out really nice. The first coat of primer, you can be pretty heavy with it. The primer is pretty much used to go ahead and fill up any little scratches and imperfections. This is a really high build primer, so it comes in pretty handy with that. Yes, we are doing the wheel wells. You guys can see, oh my God, the amount of work that went into prepping these wheel wells, removing as much of the factory seam sealer as possible and the factory undercoating. Wow, that was a mission and a half. Let me tell you, that was hours alone. So this was all kind of last minute stuff. You know, I wasn't gonna prime it, but then I was like, screw it, you know, it really can't hurt. So obviously did both bays, and you guys will see later why I primed them and what the plan is with the wheel wells. But applying our second coat, you can kind of pretty much apply the same amount of film. So here we are, man. It's looking good. You can be a little heavier if you'd like. Give yourself some room to go ahead and toss some wet sanding action on there. Get this finish looking absolutely perfect. All right, guys. Well, here we are. It is, what time is it? Time check. Days are just collaborating all together, man. It is 9:46 p.m. Same day. I went home, took about a 2-hour nap. We're back at it. Still very, very tired. But guys, I just need to get this thing done because I have a U-Haul trailer rented. And I don't want to keep adding on to that bill because I've already extended it a day. So let's try and not get a bunch of charges on that for multiple days. But even though this was rushed, I gotta say this is looking incredible. There's really no spots that I'm worried about. Everything will be able to wet sand and smooth out. The only spot that I'm seeing right here is just right there. You can kind of see, you know, I probably nicked it with the grinder when I was going and cleaning up this area. But otherwise, guys, this look, I mean, this is just absolutely awesome. Also, wheel wells, we're Raptor lining these. I don't think I mentioned anything about that, but basically from like this line down and then into the wheel well, we are just gonna Raptor line because, well, first off, it's gonna look absolutely epic. And I didn't take, obviously, much care. Well, I shouldn't say care. I obviously put a lot of care. I didn't take much time to go ahead and really make this look absolutely perfectly smooth just because there's no need to. The Raptor liner is gonna cover up any imperfections and you're never gonna see this anyway, guys. So trust me, this was hard for me to leave. Like, leaving this wheel well like this was not an easy task. But I in my head, I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna see any of it with the texture of the Raptor liner, and plus it's in a wheel well. You're not gonna see it, okay? If any of you guys know how I work, you'll understand how I am, but go ahead and wet sand this. So I'm gonna get out some 500 grit sandpaper, some water, go to town, hopefully get some color and base coat and some clear on this thing ASAP. And the Raptor liner, and we're also doing the Raptor liner tonight, so I'm hoping we can kind of get out here by like 2 a.m. That's kind of my goal. Let's get cranking, man. Let's get cranking. We're grinding. All right, yes sir, you know the deal, more sanding. So if you guys have been watching my stuff for a while, you've been seeing me use this guide coat. Now this is a powder guide coat. I like it way more than the sprayable guide coat. I don't know why, I just seem to prefer it a whole lot better. And plus this little container will last you years. So, you know, apply it, you guys can see, cover up your whole surface. This is a really handy tool. If you guys don't use some guide coat, try it out. I'll have a link again down below. You'll see, when you wet sand, you can see where exactly I've sanded and where I haven't. So this acts as a guide, literally. Shows you all your low spots, shows some high spots, and you just kind of get to know these things as far as like what's happening with the paint the more you do it. So you guys can see all those little black dots. That's all just little like orange peel situations and stuff like that we're cleaning up. So yes, Raptor liner, didn't film it. I'm sorry, this was very, very late in the morning. I was just trying to jam it out, and it was my first time applying it. Had some breakfast in the morning, and we were back to it. You guys know the deal. All right, guys, it's the next day, and well, I don't think I updated you guys, but I was gonna paint it last night, but I wasn't in the right state, man. My body was just saying go home. My mind was telling me to go home, and even today, I just need rest. My body's aching, man. I've been up forever. It's literally been a long time, but I slept for 10 hours last night, so I'm feeling a little bit better. Today's the day though, I'm gonna go ahead and knock the rest of this out. Now, last night, I didn't show you guys, but I actually Raptor lined the entire wheel wells. So you guys can see, I mean, it's freaking looking awesome, man. And very pumped on that. This is one pretty heavy coat, and I actually got a kit, like the gallon kit. I'll have it down in the description below if you guys wanna go ahead and get one yourself. Very durable stuff. Basically, if you guys have heard of Line-X, this is Line-X like sprayable at home. So did that, and then at that point I was like, dude, I'm not gonna wait for this thing to cure, you know, because I need to mask this line off here now to apply the white. And I wasn't about to wait an hour plus. It was already about 4 o'clock at that time in the morning, and I had been going on 3 or 4 hours of sleep for the past 48 to 52 hours, so. But we're back, it's like 8 o'clock, and at night, let's finish this thing off, man. I'm ready to wrap it up. It's looking absolutely incredible. I'm sorry about not filming very much, but you guys, you have to understand, it's just me. If I'm not working, you know, it's really hard to kind of get stuff done. I do appreciate Morgan's been really helping me out, which has been epic. A lot of help sanding and masking. So thank you to her, because that's awesome. I'm really pumped. She's kind of, you know, here to help out. So willingly, let alone. But all right, let's, I'm gonna start, you know, obviously it's all wet sand. That's why I used some 500 grit sandpaper to wet sand, and it looks really good. I'm actually about to now do some seam sealer in some spots here and there. I'll kind of show you guys as I progress, but seam sealer, you know, mask, prep, clean, get this thing ready for some base, let it bake, take it home. Let's get to it. Okay. Well, here we go again, man. I was gonna keep the seam sealer nice and simple, but then I was like, well, here we go again, you know? So as you can see, masked up everything very, very nice how I want it to. Applied my seam sealer, and from there, you guys can see, used a little bit of rubbing alcohol and was able to kind of play with it and get it shaped down where I want it. That's the part number. Final product absolutely looks great. So very, very happy with that. Give it a shot, you know, and who knows, you might get some good results. Alright guys, well, sorry about the fan noise, but I am getting ready to lay the base coat down, man. As you can see, this seam sealer came out awesome, man. Really good. Little details like that, man, I go crazy about. I love that sort of stuff. And I was just gonna do a really small amount here and there in a couple spots, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna go ahead and do it, might as well do it all out. So we did, and we're all ready to rock. It's about 30 minutes to cure, but we're way past that. We're in the future. I went ahead and prep-balled everything. I got everything kind of masked off and ready to rock. I did kind of overlap the Raptor a little bit because I do want it to kind of go over it and seal it all up all nice. But guys, all I have is my iPhone today. I'm scrambled as hell. This has been a hectic past few days, and I'm sorry that's falling off. I gotta fix that. But let's go ahead, toss some base on here and slap some clear. This thing's about to turn up real good. I'm pumped, man. Hopefully you guys are too. I've been grinding now. It's been a grind, but the time is here. Let's get it. What the hell is this? What is that? What are you, dude? I don't like you. Here we go, moment of truth. So start with my corners with the base. Again, you wanna be light with the base. You're not trying to achieve full coverage here. You at least want to do 2 to 3 coats of your base, depending on the color and how well it covers. So you guys can see this is it done. This is now here with 3 coats of base, really well coverage, and man, look at that. I really can't get over this engine bay and just the difference. I mean, if you guys go back and see where we started to where we are now, it does not look anything like the same car, and I think it looks 10 times better. So here we go, hopping in the booth, late night. Let's toss some clear on this thing. Yes, dude. Dude, white never seems to like fail me. Like white always for me looks so good and so dang clean. I'll never get tired of looking at it. It came out perfect, guys. Perfect. Hey, now let's get into it though. Let's toss some clear on this. I'm using some brand new clear, some House of Color Show Clear. Shout out to Kevin from Paul's Paint Seguin. If you guys are interested, hit him up, man. But let's get it, man. I'm excited. I'm about to do a quick little test spray. Sorry if you can't hear me again. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to finally get this done. It's about 12:40 in the morning. Let's get it. I'm ready to knock this puppy out. It looks so clean, man. This bay came out so incredible. So much work, but it's paying off, so couldn't be happier, man. Stoked. Let's get it. So this is a new clear coat for me. This is a House of Color clear, and I got a little bit worried because when I poured it out, it had like a yellowish tint to it, and I was like, this can't be right. Lo and behold, no issues. Do not worry about it. It's House of Color. I mean, come on. This is like the best stuff in the world. I mean, it's up there, right? So I was worried for a second, but I was like, there's no way. This has got to be good. So I just kind of sent it, went with it, did a little test panel. You guys can see all that paint on the wall. That was not me. Okay, I wouldn't do that. I'm gonna try and clean that up because personally, I don't think it looks very good. So clear coat, man. Woo, we love this stage. You can see that gloss, that shine coming in. Clear coat, again, you want to be a little bit lighter on the first stage. You want to do like a medium wet coat. You still want to get it nice and wet, but you don't want it soaking wet. Now, there's a really pretty solid trick with clear coat. It's a by feel thing, man. It's not like a paint can. A lot different with how you apply it. So take your time, learn, experiment. If this is your first time, it's totally cool if you make a mistake, because you know what? That's how you learn, man. That's how I learned. So again, corners, and I like to start off by one side at a time with a clear. I like to work on, passenger side and then the driver's side, or vice versa. And just whatever works best for you, man. Find your method. Find out what you are most comfortable with. Now, in between coats, they do this like hand slick method. Obviously, you don't want to run your finger across the paint, but find some masking paper where you have a good amount of clear coat applied. For me, strut tower, stroke it with your finger. If your finger just glides across it, you're ready for the next coat, man. If it doesn't, if it's still tacky, if it pulls some strings, you want to wait a little bit more. So again, second coat, lay it on a little bit heavier. You want to get a nice wet coat on there, but not too heavy. This is where the key role comes into part of waiting. Patience, man. Patience is key. You guys will learn that very, very soon here coming up. I learned a very big lesson about patience. So that strut tower came out looking solid. I mean, this whole engine bay, now with the clear air, you can see it's a little bit light on the wheel well there, but that'll all get touched up here. You know, the engine bays are tough. They're very tough because you can't see. It's not like a flat panel of a car, whereas you're just doing the motions, man. You have so many different surfaces on an engine bay. And they're all so close to each other. So it is really a concentration game, and you want to make sure you're taking your time. Oh no, guys, oh no. So quick little update. Last night, obviously we painted it. It's the next day. It's just... So here we are, and you know, 2 coats in, this paint is looking absolutely epic. The clear came out so good. I'm using a House of Color clear coat. It's a brand new product that I'm using. And man, the first 2 coats, it laid out so good, man. The clarity, it looked absolutely like I couldn't have asked for more. 3rd coat. This is where everything just goes wrong. So I have the booth set at like 80 degrees, 79, 80 degrees for the first 2 coats because I'm using like a medium reducer, which requires like a 70 to 80 degree temperature range. In my head, I'm like, all right, man, it was late at this time. It was like 3:30. I'm like, all right, man, last coat, I'm gonna crank the heat up a little bit more, let it go ahead and just dry up a little bit quicker. That way I can hit it on bake quicker and we can go home sooner. Don't rush, man, don't rush, don't do that. So because of that, I have massive solvent pop issues. So what solvent pop is, basically the paint was drying quicker than than it wanted to in a simple way. So the hot air was blowing down, you know, and that basically just created all these tiny little air bubble pockets. You might be able to see them on the surface, which is basically air pockets because of solvent popping, because it was trapped. So, yeah, so now basically here I am. I could leave it, but you guys know me. After all this work, I cannot leave it. This is not possible. I almost was going to, but Morgan kind of talked me into it and kind of talked some sense into me, and I'm glad she did because, you know, I was just over it, man. I don't want to sand this whole engine bay again and re-clear it, but you know what? She said, with all the work I put in this thing, it just makes sense to go ahead and get it right, because I wouldn't be happy leaving it like this. I mean, you guys can see, it might look good to some of you, but to me, it just does not look good, considering how incredible it looked with 2 coats. So in my head, I'm hoping that it's just on the surface, so I'll be able to kind of scuff this down, wet sand it, and then apply 1 more good coat of clear. Fingers crossed, that's all we need, man. But what a mission, man. I just want to be done. Now I'm on 4 days of renting this trailer, which I really didn't want to, but I just want to get it done right and not have any regrets in the end. So, you know, perfection, man. We're after perfection. If you guys bring a car here, we're going to get perfection. And this is also me learning a lot now. You know, I won't have this issue in the future. We're definitely going to use the proper materials with the right temperature. But wow, here we are. Let's get it though. Let's fix it up. Well, after about 6 hours of wet sanding, here we go. Finally, you can see we're looking a whole lot better. Now, I did go a little bit heavier in some spots. You guys may have noticed that little bit of rippling on the tub. That was a little bit of heaviness on the material, but you know, hey, it's okay. I learned a lot with this new clear coat, a lot of stuff. You know, every material is different, guys. Every material is different. You kind of just have to play with it, experiment, and you learn. But personally, wow, this is so much nicer. This looks so good than compared to what it did with all those solvent pops. Again, I'm glad I didn't leave it because, well, I wouldn't be happy with it. Look at how clear that looks. And this is straight from the gun. This is no polishing, this is no wet sanding. I am just planning to go ahead and probably wet sand just the upper radiator support just to make that look absolutely perfect. Will I go ahead and wet sand the rest of the bay? Well, there's really no need to just because of how epic it looks already, but I did get a couple little dust things in the upper radiator support, so I want to go ahead and handle that. But as you can see, I'm loving it. This is late in the night, but success, great success. What a mission. You can see we're about ready to get it loaded up, and well, it's finally done, man. It's back home, and time to continue on. There's wow, there has been a lot of surprises since then. So let me tell you that. You guys will see all that very, very soon. But as far as the gun I'm using, it's just a Tekna Pro Light. It's definitely in need of a clean right now. It has a 1.3 tip on it, and this is the House of Color Clear that I'm using with the reducer. There it is, loaded up. Wow, it was a mission and a half. Let me tell you that, guys. But hopefully, again, the voiceover, you seemed to decently enjoy it last time, so hopefully it wasn't that bad this time. And thanks for watching. Dude, yes. Can you believe it? Can you believe that this is here, painted, here, done? I can't, man. I honestly cannot. And I know it's so dirty right now. You guys might be able to see all the dust. Look at all that dust. Do you see all that dust? Maybe the GoPro is hiding it well, but wow. I haven't touched this. This thing has not seen any wet sanding, any polishing, nothing. So I haven't done this. Like I told you guys, I'm going to do this, the upper support bar on the radiator. Just kind of polish that up. There's a couple little dust nibs in it. Get that absolutely perfect. Everything else though, guys, oh my God. I mean, there's nothing that I'm like upset about. Everything came out absolutely how I wanted to. So very, very stoked on that. You guys can see this hole came out awesome. Actually, there is one thing I was a little bit upset about. When I filled this hole, right, to get rid of that massive entrance for the dual pipes from the OEM, I forgot to patch the 2 holes. So I don't know if you guys can tell right now, but the 2 holes that were there are just covered with a piece of vinyl. Whoops. So that I did overlook that, but I mean, all in all, you really can't notice, and I could maybe just toss a trim piece of hardware or something like that to clean it all up if I really wanted to. But yes, sir, this is it. I'm stoked, man. I hope you guys enjoy it and like the look, because I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier. It looks so dang clean. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, this is just a factory 326 white. The rest of the car will be going to the factory 326 white. Something about white GTRs, man. It's just something I've always loved. We are going to go ahead and ceramic coating this engine bay, so it's just going to be a really good car, man. So obviously the Raptor liner looks great, and wow, I've been doing so much work since the bay, and you guys are going to see what the hell, excuse me, I've been doing, because holy crap, man, it sucks. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'm gonna try and get this up and posted for you guys ASAP. Thank you guys so much for the support. I know it's been a long journey, and I'm trying to get videos as much out there as I can. Just with time and everything like that, it's just hard, and try my best. So thank you again for the support, and I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the comment, the support, and the subscription to the channel. There's a lot happening, man. There's a lot to come. This car is about to be nutty. Cannot wait to enjoy it and build it. It's gonna be epic. Also, RB26 build is just going insane. I'll have an update for you guys very soon. Later.